Guys, you live in the best time in history to start a business. You've got to think about it. 100 years ago, 200 years ago, it'd be impossible to start a business. You would just be working in a factory, or you would be just born into the rich, right? That's literally your only two options. But nowadays, you have the ability to use AI and get insights from AI. You have the ability to get so much data instantaneously, right? But the issue is about actually getting that data and what to do with it, right? We're in an age right now which we have too much data, we have too much information, and there's not enough action, yeah? So action is the bottleneck in today's day and age, and information is vast, right? Everyone's paralyzed because there's too much information. So how do you utilize Claude in today's day and age to supercharge your agency, yeah? So you could use it for everything, right? Starting from scratch, you have your offer, yeah? Like what you actually offer to the marketplace, yeah? How can you use Claude to supercharge that? You can figure out, okay, what are competitors doing in my niche, yeah? What are they doing? How are they charging? What services are they providing? What are their flagship services? You're gonna find out a lot about a market if you find one of the top players and what their flagship services are, right? Because that's the services that they sell the most and that is in the most demand from the customer. So find out what competitors are doing. You can get it to do competitor research for you. So if you go to Claude, go to Cowork or something like that, it can take control of your Google Chrome browser and it can start searching the internet for you. I'd recommend getting like a Claude Max subscription, like with less usage. I think it's $100 per month. You could do something like that, and then it will just operate your computer and stuff like that. So Claude Max or Claude Pro or whatever. As long as you've got the Cowork function, code function, that's perfect. So yeah, first of all, you've got competitor analysis, you've got wording. So how you actually word everything, literally everything. You give it an idea and it words it perfectly for you. How you can actually make a no-brainer offer. Literally ask Claude, okay, I got this information. You can have it in the same chat as the competitors chat, finding out what the flagship services are and stuff like that. You can be like, okay, make me a no-brainer offer. What you can then do is you can get it to structure the outreach and how you would actually get in touch with your ICP, yeah? So you would basically reach out to it saying, okay, I got this offer, which I'm gonna offer to this market. How can I find customers to outreach to? So finding leads to call or email. So you'd ask, okay, targeting this audience with this offering, how do I find my ICP? How do I get a list of my ICP? Yeah? It's gonna tell you to then go to apollo.io or something similar, and you can build a list and scrape their mobiles and emails and start reaching out to them. The next thing is actually filtering the list, yeah? So filtering the list, because you don't want to include all keywords. Like for example, if you're trying to find manufacturing companies and you just put manufacturing in as a niche, you're also going to get loads of recruitment companies be bungled in, or whatever you call it. And you're going to have to filter them out, right? Because otherwise you've got a diluted list and you're just going to be wasting time. So you want to filter the list using AI as well. So you prompt the AI saying, I got this list that I'm building right now. It's for manufacturing companies. I'm trying to reach out to them for this offer. Who do I need to filter out? How do I filter this list? So you might need to filter for a certain amount of employees. You might need to filter for a certain position, right? Like directors and stuff like that. So just make sure that you're filtering properly and you will be able to have a good list that you can use and is created by AI for you. Now, this is the next part, which is branding, yeah? And this is probably one of the best use cases for AI, is making sure your branding is up to scratch. So you could get it to do logo, you can get it to do an original logo, you could get it to do your website. So if you use something called Lovable, you can literally get a website built for you in a couple of prompts. So that's very simple and easy to use. You can have it build out your profiles with either content or headlines, descriptions, all that sort of stuff. It can do graphics for you. If you just ask it what sort of graphics you want, say that you want a graphic, you can give it specific prompts. So you can create a project on Claude and you can basically prompt it how you want. So I've basically created one for LinkedIn posting. So I have a prompt for how I want it to do the LinkedIn posts, and I always make them like lead magnet posts. And with the lead magnet post, it always has a specific CTA, a specific call to action, a specific way of grabbing attention initially. So you can create a project which is going to step by step create you a repeatable viral template or multiple templates that you can just use on repeat. So now all I need to do is put a photo in there and I'll be like, write a post for this, and it will write me like a fully perfect post which is going to get shitloads of engagement on LinkedIn. Now, the next one that you can do is your sales process. So what can Claude or AI do for your sales process, yeah? So far, we've got the branding, we've got the offer, we've got the market who we're reaching out to. Hopefully we have a list by now that we're already reaching out to. That's the most important thing, by the way. But in terms of the actual sales process, once you start booking people in, how do I actually take them through a process? Now, you literally just ask Claude. So you'd be like, okay, how do I follow a sales process for this market? I've got a list with these people in it. I filtered it for this. If you have it in the same chat as well, you can build out a mind map, or maybe you could even build out a project which is just gaining more knowledge on this specific topic. You could call it My Business or whatever. And yeah, you would just ask it, how do I create a sales process? Now, I would build something out so that you're providing value throughout the sales process, maybe even a free introductory service to build that relationship to start off with. That's how you're going to get attention in sophisticated markets. What do I mean by that? If you're trying to get your foot in the door with a massive website build out, then offer them a free landing page or a free landing page with an upsell for SEO. If you're trying to do an SEO service, that's what someone else has done. They would offer a free lander or a cheap lander and an upsell SEO, which is what they really wanted to sell, because it starts bringing in the leads. So you give them a cheap lander that starts generating leads, and you're like, okay, you want more leads? Invest in my SEO. So it's a smart way of doing it, but you need to build out your funnel so that it's not just money and then no money for the rest of the client journey. You want to ideally have it so that, let me just show you this. You want to ideally have it so that the relationship, is little money to start off with, and then, big money. Put big money up here. So it's okay, you start off with a little bit of money to prove your worth, and then providing service, let me just rub that out. Providing service leads to big money up there, right? And you increase the lifetime value of the customer because you can prove yourself on a smaller service. And what do they all say? They say that the second sale is always easier than the first. So you just get your first one over the line and then plan to develop the relationship as you go. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily taking a percentage on the back end. I don't agree with taking a percentage on the back end in a lot of cases, especially if it's longer sales cycle processes. But if you're providing like a performance-based like lead generation offer, then I would always charge for the lead. Don't really believe in charging in like for the back end unless they close on the first appointment. But yeah, that's where I stand with that. But back to how you can use Claude to help you. Ask it, have it in the same, give it all the information that we've just collected from the start of this video, put it into Claude again and just be like, okay, I have all of this information, this is my offer, this is my website, this is what I'm looking to do, this is who I'm looking to target. How do I build a sales process out about this? What do I say in the discovery? What do I say in the pitching call? How do I track that? Tracking is really key when it comes to sales, yeah? That's really important. And to further on from that, you can build out a platform. So you can use Claude Code to build out a platform for you, yeah? And what's that going to do? That's going to allow you to track everything. You can make a tracking system, right? And you can ask it. If you don't know what to track, just ask it. Just ask it what I need to track for each of my sales calls. And then how can you build up data and create AI summarized notes and insights from a collection of your calls, right, to improve your processes further as you go on. You can build out a tracking system. You can build out a platform using Claude code. Literally just go to Claude, the code section, and just start asking it what you want. It's as simple as that, and it will start building out for you. It'll tell you what you need to launch it, everything. The barrier to entry is really low. So you can build out tracking systems, you can build out CRM. So you can track where your customers are in the pipeline and all that sort of stuff to keep up to date with where they're at. You can not just track data, but you can summarize findings to improve processes. Summarize findings to improve processes. You can make your fulfillment more efficient. So what do I mean by that? For example, for me, I had a system where I was assigning leads before to clients, and it was really inefficient, right? So what did I do? I built a platform out, put all of my people on there so that they could assign leads really easily, yeah? Using a map system, using a CRM system where they can see their leads clearly. And you can make all of your processes way more efficient with AI. The one thing I would preface though is that linking back to what I originally said at the start of the video about action is the currency right now. Action is the currency that is missing. Information it's not scarce, right? Action is more scarce. What does that mean? That means that you can spend all day building these platforms, prompting Claude, all that sort of stuff, finding out ideas, planning. That's not going to make you money. What's going to make you money is getting out into the marketplace, making calls, booking in sales calls, filling up the diary. If I could give you one piece of advice for growing your agency, it is to get more sales calls in the calendar. If you just increase that metric, I guarantee you will be making good money. And hopefully you could invest in my one-to-one coaching at that point. But focus on sales calls, getting more sales calls in the calendar. That means lead generation is top priority. Just increase your leads. Don't necessarily care about the fulfillment massively to start off with. Just get clients through the door who are paying you, yeah? I don't mean clients who are coming on for free and you're doing a favor for. Clients who you bring on, you offer them a service in exchange for money, ideally taking that up front, and that's gonna be able to actually help you scale. So if you found some value from this, guys, on some ideas on how you can integrate Claude into your agency to help you scale, then just drop me a follow. I'm going to be posting loads of videos like this on how I scaled my business to over 100K per month. And I also have a solo company now, so I've taken over more of the chain, which is doing around 500K a month in revenue right now. So yeah, drop me a follow, check out the next video, and I'll speak to you in a bit.